The Affinity Protocol. How to build a cult of raving fans. Stop trying to get followers. Start building a cult. And before you click away, understand this. We're not talking about anything sinister. We're talking about the operating system behind the world's most magnetic brands, creators, and movements. The force that makes people line up for a phone, tattoo a logo on their body, or defend a creator in comment sections. That's not an audience. That's a high-affinity tribe. Most people collect followers like digital baseball cards. The number goes up, but engagement is zero. The connection is hollow. They have a list, not a community. The reason is a critical system failure. They focus on what they do, not who their people are and why they should belong. Today, we're installing a new protocol. We will deconstruct the psychological architecture of these fanatical groups and give you a 5-step blueprint to build your own. This is the Affinity Protocol. Let's begin.
The core mission. Every failed community has one thing in common: a hollow core. Their mission statement is a platitude. We want to empower creators. We value innovation. It's corporate jargon. It's noise. It has zero gravitational pull because it lacks a specific declarative objective. A real mission isn't a feel-good sentence. It's a vector. It has direction and magnitude. It points directly at a future you intend to create, and it specifies the force required to get there. To build one, you need two components: a target and an opposition. First, the target. This is your positive objective. It's the ideal future state you are fighting to build. It must be clear and tangible. Not make the world better, but create a world where independent artists can earn a full-time living from just 100 true fans. See the difference? One is a vague wish. The other is a measurable destination. Second, the opposition. This is the critical component most people miss. You must define what you are fighting against: an enemy, an outdated idea, a broken system, a frustrating status quo. This is the source of your narrative energy. Apple didn't just sell computers. They fought against the conformist dystopian Big Brother of 1984. CrossFit didn't just sell workouts. It declared war on chronic disease and the failures of the mainstream fitness industry. Defining the opposition does two things. It simplifies the world into us and them, which is a powerful psychological driver for group identity, and it gives your potential members a reason to join the fight. People don't just want to build something, they want to tear something down. So here's your tactical execution. Stop trying to write a poetic mission statement. Instead, answer these two questions with brutal clarity. 1. What specific, broken system or frustrating reality are we actively working to dismantle? 2. What specific, better reality will exist once we succeed? Your core mission is the synthesis of those two answers. It's not just about what you do, it's about the change you intend to force upon the world. This isn't a brand statement, it's a declaration of war on the status quo. That's the kind of mission people don't just follow, they enlist for.
The Insurgent Framework. Every powerful tribe is built on a conflict, not with people, but with an idea. Humans are wired for opposition. We define ourselves by what we stand for, but we unite based on what we stand against. This is the Insurgent Framework. It's about creating a narrative of us versus them, where them isn't a competitor, but a flawed system, an outdated philosophy, or a universal frustration. Weak brands attack their rivals. Strong brands attack the status quo. Think about it. Early Apple didn't just sell computers. They waged a war against conformity and complexity. Their enemy wasn't IBM the company. It was the idea of a gray, centralized, Orwellian future. Their entire identity was built on being the alternative, the tool for the creative rebel. This narrative gives people more than a product. It gives them a flag to rally behind. Your first step is to define your enemy.
and it must be an abstract. Is it complexity? Is it the corporate grind? Is it misinformation in your industry? Is it the belief that you have to sacrifice your health for success? Pick a villain that your target audience already feels but hasn't put a name to. Once you have your enemy, you build the narrative. There are two parts. First, you clearly articulate the old world. This is the world dominated by your enemy. Describe the frustration, the inefficiency, the problem it creates. Use language your audience uses. Paint a clear picture of the system you are rebelling against. This validates their struggle and shows you understand them on a fundamental level. Second, you present the new world. This is the future your brand, your community is building. It's the solution. It's the rebellion. You are the insurgents fighting for a better way. By joining you, by adopting your methods, your audience isn't just a customer or a viewer. They are a member of the insurgency. They are an agent of change. This transforms their identity. They are no longer just a person who buys a product. They are a minimalist fighting complexity. They are a remote worker fighting the 9-to-5 prison. They are an investor fighting Wall Street bureaucracy. This framework gives your mission stakes. It creates an emotional core that logic and features can never match. Don't sell a product. Sell a rebellion. Define the obsolete system you want to tear down, and people who hate that system will join your army to do it. The shared lexicon. Every elite group has its own language. It's an operating system for their culture. It's not just jargon. It's an invisible wall and a secret handshake, all at once. If you understand the lexicon, you belong. If you don't, you're an outsider. It's that simple. Language is a loyalty test. It signals who has invested the time to understand the core concepts of the group. Think about the military, specialized surgeons, or high-frequency traders. Their specific terminology isn't just for efficiency. It's a powerful tool for in-group cohesion. An outsider hears noise. A member hears precise, critical information. This creates a cognitive shortcut. When a community develops its own terms for complex ideas, it makes those ideas easier to share, remember, and act on. It's the difference between explaining a full paragraph and saying a single, coded word that every member instantly understands. So, how do you build this? First, you need to identify your core concepts, the big ideas that separate your way of thinking from the mainstream. Take that idea and give it a name, brand it. Instead of saying the old, inefficient way people approach this problem, you give it a name, like the legacy drag or chaos mode. This creates a clear enemy to rally against. Second, create shorthand for your unique processes. Turn your key frameworks into acronyms or proprietary terms. This is what we did with the Affinity Protocol. The name itself becomes a container for a whole system of thought. It makes your philosophy portable and sticky. Finally, embed this language everywhere. Use it consistently in your content, your comments, and your community interactions. When new members see the veterans using this language, they have a clear incentive to learn it. It becomes their first real step from being a passive observer to an active participant. Your shared lexicon isn't just a list of words, it's the user interface for your tribe. It filters for commitment, accelerates learning, and solidifies group identity faster than any other tool at your disposal.
The ritual engine. A passive audience is a dead audience. Engagement that relies on your constant, novel input isn't a community, it's a performance. The moment you stop performing, the audience disperses. High-affinity tribes operate on a different system. They have a heartbeat, a predictable rhythm of interaction. This is the ritual engine. This is not an event calendar. This is a behavioral loop designed to make participation a habit. It works because it reduces the cognitive load for your members. They don't have to wonder how or when to engage. The system gives them a clear signal. These actions, repeated over time, transform passive consumption into active identity. Your ritual engine needs 3 core components. First is the consumption ritual. This is the most basic layer. It's a predictable, scheduled delivery of value. Your weekly video every Tuesday morning, your market analysis email every Friday afternoon. The audience learns the rhythm. They anticipate it. They integrate it into their schedule. Consistency here isn't about content. It's about building trust and expectation. Second, you layer on the contribution ritual. This is where you flip the script. You are no longer broadcasting, you are prompting. This is a specific, recurring call to action that invites members to share something. For a productivity channel, it could be Workspace Wednesday, where everyone posts a picture of their desk setup. For a fitness brand, it's Progress Friday. The prompt must be simple, low friction, and tied directly to the tribe's core mission. This moves a member from a viewer to a participant. Third and most critical is the celebration ritual. Contribution without recognition is just free labor. You must close the loop by amplifying the best contributions. This could be a community spotlight in your newsletter, a Wins of the Week segment in your videos, or simply retweeting and highlighting the best examples. When you celebrate a member's participation, you are doing 2 things. You're giving them a status boost, and you are showing everyone else exactly what kind of behavior gets rewarded. This creates a powerful incentive feedback loop. Consumption, contribution, celebration. That is the engine. It creates a self-sustaining cycle that generates energy, reinforces the group's identity, and makes engagement an automatic, rewarding habit for everyone involved.
The activation sequence. You've done the hard work. Your mission is clear. You've defined the enemy, created the language, and built the rituals. Someone new shows up. They're interested. They've raised their hand. And this is where 99% of communities fail. They do nothing. They just drop the new person into the chaos and hope they figure it out. Hope is not a strategy. Your community isn't a free-for-all. It's a high-performance environment, and every new member needs a proper onboarding. This is the activation sequence. Think of it like the tutorial level of a video game. It doesn't throw you at the final boss. It teaches you the controls, gives you an easy first mission, and rewards you for completing it. It builds confidence and locks in the desire to keep playing. Your activation sequence has one goal: to turn a passive observer into an active participant as efficiently as possible. It's a designed pathway, not a random welcome mat. Here's the architecture. First, the orientation. The moment someone joins, they get a clear directive: a welcome email, a pinned post, a short video. It says, "You're in. Here's the map. Here are the rules, and here is your first mission." You immediately eliminate confusion and give them a clear path forward. Second, the micro-commitment. Their first mission is simple. It is low friction and public. Ask them to introduce themselves in a specific thread with a specific format. Or ask them to share the one thing they want to achieve. This is critical. It moves them from consuming to creating. It is a small psychological investment that signals to their brain, "I am part of this now." Third, the feedback loop. When they complete that micro-commitment, they must be acknowledged. You, a moderator, or even an automated system responds. You validate their action. "Welcome, John. Glad you're here." This simple feedback confirms they did the right thing and that their participation is seen and valued. It closes the loop on their first action. Finally, you deliver immediate value. Based on their introduction, point them to a relevant resource, a tool, a video, a previous discussion. You show them instantly that this community is a utility. It solves problems. They arrived, took a small step, were validated, and got a reward. That entire sequence can take less than 5 minutes,
but its impact is permanent. You have systematically demonstrated the value of the group, taught the user how to engage, and given them a positive emotional return on their initial investment of time and attention. That's how you defeat churn. That's how you build an army of engaged operators, not a list of passive spectators. It's not luck, it's a system.
This protocol isn't about manipulation. It's about engineering meaning. It's the difference between a broadcast and a bonfire. One sends a message out into the void. The other creates a central point of light and warmth that people choose to gather around. You don't hunt for followers. You build the fire and they find you. The system works. Now it's your turn to execute. If you are ready to upgrade your strategic OS and build something that matters, hit subscribe and join the Sanctum.